welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good and y'all are doing well. Yeah, if you're new here, please like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, enjoy. So today, today we'll be talking about a very touching topic for me, mostly for me because it's something that I'm still working on. It's not, it's not something that I'm like out of the woods yet. I'm still in the woods, but I'm closer to exiting the woods than I was when everything happened. So let's talk about heartbreak. um, Heartbreak and what heartbreak can do. It's something that is also overlooked in the community. I don't know, because I don't think people associate it as a real feeling, like as something that's real and that's genuine, and that for me is like nah fam. We can't do that, because when it comes to heartbreak, hey, things are really real. Like, they are really real, and if we don't take it seriously, then we will be repeating the same patterns that other generations have been doing as well. It's something that we should speak about. It's something that we should listen to if a person is coming to us and telling us, hey, oh man, my heart is heavy, my heart is broken. If we should not like look down upon him or her and be like, yeah, whatever, get over it, because heartbreak is like, hey, it's really real. Like, I won't lie, it's really real, and for a person to not want to address heartbreak, it will lead to many other complications. Like, heartbreak is linked to a lot of things, but one needs to find that balance, that balance of dealing with it but not also triggering yourself to a point where you feel like you are doing nothing. You understand? Like, you need to find that balance, so yeah, the sooner we start talking about heartbreak in our communities, in our small cliques, giving an ear to people, is the better we will learn to understand certain individuals, certain people, because we need to really start taking that into account, that people go through things, a lot of people go through a lot of things, but they are not willing to open up and talk about them, and heartbreak is one of those things that nobody wants to talk about, because the minute you start talking about it, you either get looked down upon, or you become the weird kid that feels like you like everyone feels like you're just trying to gain their attention, whereas you are just trying to like raise an awareness to be like, guys, I am not okay, I'm not good, right? And yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to find a person who's willing to listen to you when you are not okay, when you are heartbroken. It's very difficult to find a person. But if you do find that person, use them wisely and confide in them, speak about it, like, get it off your chest. Like, with all or most problems, we have to get them off our chest in order to be able to move forward. If you're not speaking about something, if you're not speaking about the things that you're going through, be it with your best friend, with your parents, alone, you talk to the air, or you talk to your pillows, or you talk to your stuffed animals, your action figures, whatever you talk to, right? Like, clear it, speak about it, because if you don't speak about it, it stays in here, and then it's going to affect here. And once it affects here, then the whole body is affected, right? So we need to start talking about that. And also, you need to be open enough to be willing to speak about it. That's the only way we will be able to beat this thing of looking down upon certain I don't want to say disease, but mental diseases, health and whatnot. If we start talking about it within our communities, if we start addressing it within ourselves as friends, family, like a lot of people, then it'll eventually rise into the spotlight and people will start taking it seriously. It's not about giving them your advice, it's about giving them a ear. You need to listen to them, because sometimes we misunderstand this thing of when people open up and when people talk to us, we're thinking that they need our advice. That's not always the case. Sometimes just listen to the person, right? Just listen to the person and what they're saying, and listen with intent to understand, not to answer back and try and sound smart and be like, Dr. Phil, and try to be, your things. Be like, listen and then be honest with the person. If you don't know what to say, tell them with like, yo, fam, I do not know what to say, but you are going through the most, but I am here for you. You understand? So that's the mindset that we should have. Being able to listen to someone and not try to give them advice. You can give them advice, but the important part is that we need to be willing to listen to what this person has to say at times. You understand? Because it really helps out, right? So now, coming to heartbreak, right? Let's take heartbreak as a cut, like a deep cut on your hand, like a deep cut, right? There's two ways to do this, and this is just me trying to put it like into perspective how most people deal with heartbreak. You can either, number one, go to the doctor, right, and have it checked out, and then and then they apply the things, man, the doctor things where they put that thing that stops the bleeding and stops the infection, and then they put a band-aid around it, and then you're good, right? And then you know that you won't suffer from infection. Or you can just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna let this be. I'm gonna let it bleed out and it'll stop on its own. But if you are doing that, then you are more prone to infections, because you have not covered up the wound, right? And you don't know what other consequences as of yet, what infections you're going to get, right? So those are the two methods, right? The method one is like you have the professionals check it out, right? So if we, in terms of heartbreak, if we're putting it into perspective, that's when you open up and you start talking about it, right? And you are addressing the situation, you are facing it head on for what it is, right? That's when you now take and you rub alcohol and you remove the dirt and whatnot to make sure that you don't get infection. Then you wrap it around, and then keep it out of water, and then change the band-aid to 2 days, every 2 days or something. I don't know, but it depends, right, on what you are instructed to do. But that's the thing. That's how you do it, right? That's the step. You start talking about it, you start addressing it, and you start fighting it, right? And then method two is where you just, you're like, man, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm going to thug this out. The bleeding will stop, everything will be fine, and I'll be alright. But you forget that you are also prone to like virus infections and whatnot. The whole list of things that can cause you to lose your arm. Basically, maybe you'll have to cut it off or something. But yeah, now with that's method 2. If you just let it be. And when you let method 2 be, it's when you ignore the feeling of heartbreak. Like, you do not take heartbreak seriously. You just like, this thing does not exist. It is not for me. You are rejecting the existence of heartbreak, but then you are seeing its evidence in your life. You understand? So you have to at least, like, if you do that, then you'll be entering relationships, going into new relationships, and not just boyfriend and girlfriend, like friendships, and making new friends and all of that. Like, a relationship is not specifically boyfriend and girlfriend. There are many relationships, business partners and whatnot. You'll be going there with this baggage of past experiences, and if you do not deal with that baggage of past experiences, then that will hinder you. It'll stop you, because every time you try to make a move to something, or to move ahead, then they will, like, it'll stop you where you are, because you'll think back and you're like, wait, last time I did this, this happened. And then what happens? You fall back and you go into your little corner and you fall apart. You understand? That is method 2, when you do not address the situation head on, like when you don't deal with the situation head on, So those are the 2 methods, and we have to be honest with ourselves, right? We have to pick the correct method to deal with the heartbreak, right? And heartbreak, like I said, is not based on girlfriend and boyfriend. Heartbreak can be that you lost your mom, you lost a loved one, you lost your dog. I mean, like, different things, but like major things make up heartbreak. Heartbreak is not just this small thing that people don't take seriously. Heartbreak is really big and really serious, and we have to talk about it, right? We have to talk about it, because in my case, I used method 2, where I was not dealing with it, and yeah, when you decide not to deal with a certain issue, it makes you fall back into past. We basically have a relapse, and then you fall back into past experiences. All the bad things. You start going back, because now those things are kind of like, they are becoming like a coping mechanism. Like, they are trying to overshadow what you are doing. Or what you are going through, and you might take it lightly, you might take it lightly, but heartbreak is really real. So I was not dealing with it. I decided I was rejecting it and like pushing it aside, and like, nah, this is not for me, this does not exist, this is all in my mind. For an entire year, I was in denial that heartbreak really exists. But then after that year, I sat down and I was like, wait, if heartbreak does not really exist, then why am I feeling this way? Then why is this happening to me? Why do I feel like I'm dying? And from there on, I started addressing the issue. I had to deal with it, right? So that it does not hinder me from making better decisions for my life, to moving on ahead. Because what we normally do is that we forget that our experiences also play a huge role in how we make our decisions, right? So for me, I was making bad decisions based on the heartbreak, and I was not dealing with it. So it means that everything I was doing was just like going down, 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 until I hit rock bottom. And then that's when I started realizing that, wait, this is actually toxic, because I'm not dealing with it and it's pulling me down. Then I started working on it. I started fighting. I started dealing with it head on, and then it made me realize that it's something that like we overlook. I too also overlooked it, but now I no longer overlook it. You know, if somebody texts me or calls me and tells me, yo, my heart is heavy, I open all my ears and I listen. I'm like, I am here if you want to talk. And I listen. I don't listen to be, you know, to give you those words, you know, those words that it's gonna be okay. No, I listen to understand what you are going through and give you the best logic scenario that I can give you. You understand? I would even recommend you to go see a therapist if you can. If you can't, then we'll work on it, right? So I an entire year of not dealing with it, and then for the next, I think, 3 to 4 years, I started addressing it. I started dealing with it. I started picking myself up. I started doing what I needed to do because it was pulling me down, you know, and I was tired of being pulled down. I wanted now I wanted to go up. I want to go up because I'm tired of just sinking down all the time, you know. And yeah, eventually, I'm not fully over it, but I'm still working on that heartbreak because mine was like multiple issues that made like one huge thing, you know. But yeah, but here I am today. I'm speaking about it. Never thought I'd ever speak about it, but yeah. So we have to find and use the correct measures for heartbreak, because yeah, it's real. It does exist. We cannot ignore the fact that it exists, and that it's what's, you know, stopping a lot of people from doing what they want to do, because like I said, it hinders how you make your decisions. You know, it hinders how you see things. It hinders how you it hinders how you like make your way through life, because you always have this one thing of, I did this last time and it did not work. You become afraid to take risks now, and you rather play it safe than take a gamble, you know. And with everything about heartbreak is real. We must not belittle it or make it sound like it's small. It's not small. It's big. It's really big. And one thing I can say is that we can overcome it. Like if we address it and start talking about it in our communities and within our spaces, to tell our friends that, dude, it's okay, right? It's okay to feel what you feel, but it is not okay to dwell on it. It is okay to feel what you feel and then move on. Like, have a moment where you are down, but don't stay down for too long, you know. Rather stay down as in like you are resting, and then when you have the strength to make it up again, then go up twice as high, you know. And yeah, all will be well, you know. So yeah, that I was just touching a bit on heartbreak, like I'm not ready yet. So if this video has helped you in any way, please do like it. Please share it with friends, family, whoever you feel like might be in the same situation and needs, you know, some encouragement. Please do share it, and don't forget to subscribe on the channel. And in the comment sections down below, let me know what you are going through and how you got through it. You know, just, you don't even have to like make it a whole big story. Just short thing, man. Just explain what you were going through. I would like to know, you know, and creating a safe space where you can, you know, converse about these things, because it's really real, you know. And for me, have yourself a wonderful day and stay awesome.